So we've got Mary Casey, who's the chair of the Living Futures Institute of Australia, and get those pens ready because she's going to talk about arguably one of the sexiest ideas tonight, which is what can we learn from biomimicry in terms of its relation to space. Some of us don't even know what biomimicry is. To find out, Mary Casey, please give her a round of applause.
Okay, thanks Chris, and thanks for having me, and thanks for being here tonight, everyone. So my first image, some of you might remember, this was the screensaver for Microsoft's Where Do You Want to Go Today campaign. Every day is a new opportunity for us to move in the direction of the future that we want. And whilst we might be a little bit discouraged about the direction things seem to be going with the environment at the moment, Karl Barth once said, though we cannot go back and make a brand new start, anyone can choose right now to make a brand new ending. So where do we want to go today? The Living Future Institute of Australia is dedicated to establishing a powerful and influential, informed group of active citizens who are committed to redefining humanity's relationships with the ecosystems we inhabit. So this is where we want to go, to a future that is socially just, culturally rich, and ecologically restorative. Sound like a tall order? Well, it is. Next slide. But by identifying an ideal as the standard of success, we free up creative and ambitious individuals to respond in the myriad ways that we need to get truly transformative change. Until 1954, it was widely believed that no human could run a mile in under 4 minutes. Roger Bannister did it. His record lasted for 46 days. By the end of 1954, 8 other men had run a mile in under 4 minutes, and the current standard is 17 seconds faster than that. So, next slide. It's always impossible looking until it's done, right? So who's the Roger Bannister of the built environment? Well, the good news is there isn't just one, and it isn't just in one place. It's happening all around us, it's happening all the time, we just have to know where to look. When you're designing something, it's really important to understand the rules of the system within which you're operating. It's really easy to misidentify which system is the governing system. So a hint is if you can change the rules of a system, it's not the governing system. So what are the rules for the built environment? Is it regulation? No. Humans made those rules, we can change them. Is it economic circumstances? No. Humans made those rules, we can change those too. The governing system is nature, and nature's overarching design principle is to create conditions conducive to life. If we take nature as model, measure, and mentor, we find examples of successful design according to the governing system all around us. And the name for this is biomimicry. So biomimicry looks at nature's forms, processes, and systems, and seeks to emulate them to solve human problems. Butterfly wings have been used to help develop high-tech surfaces for mobile phones, water-resistant surfaces, and temperature sensors, for example. But at its highest form, biomimicry is about mimicking processes and systems. A rainforest, 4 square mile area of which supports 2,800 different species. And this system diversity and their interdependence actually improves the resilience of the system. So if anybody tells you that sustainability is not possible in a dense environment, like an urban environment, point them to this system. It is absolutely possible. We just have to keep calm and follow the rules. The Living Building Challenge is a framework, a philosophy and advocacy tool for the built environment, which uses the metaphor of a flower to illustrate its principle. It basically operates on the idea that nature is the highest benchmark of performance for anything that humans make. So a flower, for example, like the environment, is rooted in place, but somehow manages to get all of the resources it needs from the rainfall that lands on its petals and the sunlight that it can harvest. It's composed of integrated systems, it's beautifully integrated with the governing system, and it operates absolutely efficiently and absolutely pollution-free. So that's a pretty good benchmark for us to try and achieve. And here's Australia's first bud. This is the Sustainable Buildings Research Centre at the University of Wollongong, and it is a 2,500 square metre facility with the aim to research, collaborate, and link with industry to meet the challenge of the energy efficiency of our new and existing building stock. It'll become a powerful advocacy tool and ultimately its own largest experiment, proof of the concepts it champions and the research it generates. The SPR See has been designed to achieve net zero water. Next slide, sorry. And it does that through a natural reed bed through which they'll pump their black water. From an energy perspective, the SPR See will be grid-tied energy positive, generating 300,000 kilowatt hours per annum for a projected mean use of about half of that amount. And 25,000 kilowatt hours of that will be generated from the PV cells on its roof. A converged backbone of control monitoring systems will integrate power and water management, as well as central processing of the building's 2,000-point sensor suite, monitoring air quality, temperature, water use, emissions, etc., and reporting that information back to the users. The project incorporates reused materials, including bricks, which have become a favorite feature of the building. One of the professors at the University of Wollongong is a specialist in urban heritage, and he says that there's 4 generations of Australian bricks represented in the facade of this building, from Edwardian to Art Deco to 1970s. The SPR See embodies the principle of a living space with access to nature, views, and fresh air, and the thought and care of the client and design team is visible in pretty much every detail. As part of the challenge, the building will be open annually for a tour so that you can come in and have a look at what the breaking of the 4-minute mile looks like. The changes we seek will not become system changes unless a critical mass of caring people decide to lace up their running shoes and take part in this race. It can be done. It's not impossible. It's already happened. It's happening all around us. We're part of a network of concerned citizens that girdles the globe, putting out this vision, this ideal, this passion, this future. And if you agree, please join us. Spread the word. Change the world.